this is John Young. Today we're going to be fixing a bench. This is a bench from my the piano that my kids play on, and we're going to be fixing a couple of things here on this one. What it has is two issues. One, the legs have gotten kind of loose and wiggly, and then the second is the very bottom of it, the little piece of plywood that kind of covers the bottom. It came off. Basically what happened is I believe that there was too much weight in the bottom of it, and there might have been, maybe a butt that sat on the books without the cover down, or maybe somebody stood on the books without the cover. Anyway, as you can see, it kind of ripped out. So we're going to put this back on. Now we're going to be doing that using the Ryobi. This is the P320. This is the AirStrike Technology battery-powered brad nailer. We're going to be running an 18 gauge brad in here. We're going to kind of stitch around there a little bit. We could go and glue this also. This would be something that if you wanted to go and add the glue to it, that's certainly your discretion to glue this down and then nail it. That would give you a much more secure. But for this particular one, I want to do the brad nailing. So first off, we're going to deal with the legs on this particular unit. So first off, we're going to deal with the legs that are a little bit loose. And this is a kind of a similar build construction on some tables. Some table legs where it's got kind of a pedestal and then it has the legs. You're going to find similar things where it is if you take a look down here, it is a piece that has the leg itself, and then it has a metal bolt that kind of tightens and pulls all the sides and the leg in together. Now in this particular case, what's happened is over time with using and such, the legs have become loose, and these little nuts down here, which in this case that's a square nut. You don't see that too often. Let me just turn a little bit more. But it's a square nut down there, and what we're going to do is we're going to need to tighten that. And as you can see, I've got a nail here, and we're going to have to pull this nail out. This can be pulled out a couple of different ways. If you have a small hammer, that can do it, or you can use a plier, and I'll demonstrate that also here in just a minute. So first thing we're going to do is take our 9/16 inch wrench here, and we're going to tighten these up just a little bit. We're not going to go crazy and crank these down for everything we're worth here. We're going to just snug them up, and then that snugs up the whole leg, and we'll do that with the other three. Now some of these are going to be could be more loose than the others, but the idea is I want to snug them up, but I'm also not going to be using the full torque of the wrench. I'm going to hold it down here and be tightening like this, and the idea is that between just finger tightening and the shorter leverage point, I don't have the whole lever, the strength of the lever by grabbing it up here, that I'm not going to be as apt to over tighten it and damage something. So I'm going to do it a little bit shorter. That way when it gets difficult for me to do with my fingers at that shorter level, it's going to hopefully not be to the point where I'm actually bending something or damaging something. I mean, obviously, if I really wanted to damage it, I could be torquing on the end here. I could go and put a little pipe on the end of it and really make a mess of the situation. But that's not my goal here. My goal is basically to tighten them up and make it so that they are nice and snug as we go forward. Now it's kind of interesting. Once I set this back on its, I set this back up. This one was loose again. So let's take a look here. All right, looks like they are all good to go. Now we had that nail, and I think I've got the rest of the nails out, and we've got one nail right down here. I'm going to turn. Actually, I'll turn it around. And you'll be able to see the nail over here. Now there's a couple of ways I could possibly pull that out. In this particular case, the way I'm going to do it is I could go grab my little hammer and we'll try that, but we're going to try a plier first. I've got a nice sized plier, and I'm going to grab the head of it, and I'm just going to see if I can just get lucky and grab it and pull it straight out. If I can pull it out without having to do any bending or torquing on it, it's going to come out cleanly and I'm not going to damage the wood. The other thing I could have done is I could have gone and gotten a little pry, grabbed onto it, and maybe pried up a little bit with maybe if you have a chisel or a screwdriver, you could do that. Or of course you could go and take your typical claw hammer and you go and slide your claw hammer in and pop it up. But it came out. I knew that this was a relatively short. This is about a 5/8 inch nail, and that would be easy to deal with. So we're going to take this. Actually, I'm gonna throw this away because this is the size nail that's going to find its way into the tires, and I don't want to have it go there. Okay, so next is the time to put the plywood back on. We've got our little cover, or I should say the bottom, and they've got it all shaped and such. It's good to go, and what I'm going to do is basically go and stitch around and make it so it is all in there. And I just want to make sure it's all fit. So I'm going to be using this little brad nailer from Ryobi, and it has the spot where you can go and you can load all your brads in there. And I think I'm using about 1.25 inch brad. This will shoot anything from a 5/8 inch, it says right here, to a 2 inch, which is kind of cool. I can adjust the amount of pressure it's going to use, and I can adjust the depth. And we did that in a second video. And what you do is you take a separate piece of wood and do that. We're going to do a couple, and we're going to see exactly if it's going to work or if I'm going to need to adjust it. It has a non-marring foot, and if you take a look, you're going to see a little arrow there. That's where the brad's going to be coming out. So I'm going to have to kind of go and line that up over the wood and try to make it so it goes straight into the wood, because if I tip it left or right, it could pop out of my material, and I don't want to have that going. So first off, I have already set this with a separate piece of wood. I did that in a prior video. I've got my battery here, and I put the other tools away, and then we're going to be getting ready to go. You need to have good quality safety glasses on, which I've got my safety glasses here. So I'm going to put my regular glasses, just put them into the back, and I'm good to go there. And now let's give this a whirl. It has a nice little light. And right there we go. I'm just making sure that I'm in the right spot. Right on the edge of the wood, but not too much. So I'm going to splinter out on the plywood, or that I'm going to come out of the wood itself. That one I must have missed. Let's see. We'll come here. There we go. That one caught. Push it all in. Well, let's flip this over and take a look and see what we have done. So tip this upright and take a look on the inside, and we will see that we have hit, or there's no nails sticking in. Now there's no nails, that they all went right into the wood nicely, nothing splintered out on the inside, and it is secure and ready to go. We'll put links in descriptions below so you can go and check out the little nailer here that we used in today's video. And if it's something that you're going to be doing some projects and you need to do some brad nails, hey, this could be a great option for you here. And it's quick and easy, and I can go put it on. Okay, I can go put it on the shelf, and I don't have to worry about oiling everything and doing things such as that. So John, yeah, thank you for watching.
For more tips and how-to videos, go to weekendhandyman.com.